Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, TheRumpledOne, coming to you on Thursday, August the 17th. The year's 2023. Let's talk trading. Rules. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. Now, we talk about rules. And the first rule that we have is not to lose more on any one single trade than you're willing to lose. That's the rule that should keep you in the game. Now, the other thing is that I was talking to Walmart earlier, and he was saying one of the things that I do is I have rules, but I break them, and then things go sideways. But I said, Walmart, I don't have rules. I have guidelines, rules of thumb. But maybe one of the things you might want to consider is making some of your guidelines into rules, as in things you don't break. So like one of the rules I have is when I'm making videos, I don't trade. And sometimes I miss out on a lot of really good opportunities. But that's a rule I have, and it keeps me out of trouble. So I'm kind of curious if any of you want to chime in the comments and the replies, what rules you have that you literally do not break. I know I was showing Walmart something earlier today. In fact, I was playing with some new code. Actually, I was playing with some old code and seeing if I could get it to work the way I really want it to work. And what it is that as soon as the M5 candle opens, if the dot was magenta, you go short, and if the previous dot was aqua, you go long. And sometimes it works well, sometimes it doesn't. So it's one of those things where in trading, it's not like other things where you learn something, you do it, it works every time. Like a recipe when you're baking a cake. I mean, it's pretty much going to work every time unless there's some other unforeseen factor, like you get a bad batch of baking powder or something and it just comes out flat. But that's what'll happen in trading. You can even if you follow your rules, sometimes there's going to be a losing trade. That's just the nature of the beast here. There's just no way around it. And we had some red news earlier, and that's why we had these big spikes. And Walmart and I each got into trouble. He worked his way out of it. I'm still working my way out. When it came down to 63, I think it was here, I needed like one more pip, and you can see it's reversed about 10 pips. But I was kicking myself because I wanted to put a short on at 75, and I hesitated, didn't get it, and then it dropped. Had I put it on at 75, I could have been out. So that's one of those things that you have to learn about trading is sometimes you just have to do what you say you're going to do and not hesitate. Hesitation is one of the biggest killers. Second guessing yourself, second guessing your method. You think you see something, and it's really hard. And that's one of the reasons I was working on that the old EAs I had, because on this particular trade about going long, because had you gone long right here at the opened at 72.8, hit 75.3, there was an opportunity for 2 pips. And that's all this method is used for, is for picking up some quick pips. 1 or 2 pips. So let's flip through the charts here and take a quick look at what's going on in the market here with the pound. You can see on the monthly, we're still below the monthly open. We are above the weekly open by about 78. All the gaps have filled. We are in the opening range for the month. You can see we crossed above the previous day's high once again, breaking out of that wick zone. For the year, 682 above the open. Lots of inside bar action here. And we barely touched that inside bar high and got rejected. And on a red news day, only 81 pips of range. You can see we crossed above that daily open 3 hours ago. And price is taking off. Red rats, get ready to feast. You can see here they already had a small bite. And right there, that 63 is right at the edge of the rat zone. Bambino Flex indicator says to go long. Pivot trading plan near R1 short, and we're right at that R1 level at 27.68, 69-ish. And obviously we've taken out that daily pivot. So H4 pivots. You can see one above, one way above, one way below. Daily pivot gone, weekly pivot gone, monthly pivot still not taken out. Once again, we are above previous day's upper wick zone. And you can see here we hit the ATR zone and have pulled back. That daily high, previous day's high, 65.7. And remember, these zones are dynamic. So when it makes new highs, this one raises up. When it makes new lows, this one will come down. So it looks like we dipped into this, but we probably hadn't dipped in at the moment. Once again, just looking at our fib retrace lines. There's the 10% line. There's 23. You can see here on the M5 the highs and the lows. It seems to be stuck in a channel between these highs and these highs. So stuck in a range, not a channel. So once again, you can start to short here, start to buy here, and just play that price action in between those lines if you like to scalp. On the sweet spot lines here, we have every 5 pips. And you can see once again, we are stuck in this range right here. And we are at the top of the hour. Actually, we're almost 2 minutes into it now. Hey Walmall, join the video. I was just telling the fellow traders about rules. We got about 5 minutes left, and how you said how I make rules but I break rules, and I said no, they're not rules, they're guidelines.
Yeah, well, it's funny that you say that. I had an uncle that used to go and say, he had a reputation for breaking traffic laws, and he used to go and say that, and I remember him saying this to a police officer one time when he got pulled over for going and running a stop sign, and the police officer asked him why he ran the stop sign, and he said, well, there was a white line around the stop sign, and that makes it optional. And the cop laughed so much that he actually went and let him get away with that. But we can't get away with that in trading, though. We got rules for a reason, and we need to obey them. At least that's my perspective on things. Obey the rules, because we've made the rules because for our own protection. And I look at rules from maybe a little bit different than other people, but I look at rules from the perspective of rules are put there to go and protect ourselves from our own silliness. And whereas other people put rules in order to go and make money, or put rules in to say, okay, this is the reason why I'm taking a trade, but I put rules in to go and try to prevent myself from getting myself into some type of trouble. So that's my understanding of rules.
Yeah, I get myself into trouble a lot.
So maybe you need to change your guideline. You got your word guideline to rule and actually obey some of the things. So I've actually implemented a lot of the rules that you put out there, and they've served me really, really well. And we, the problem is, it's so easy to break them because we have this FOMO thing. We haven't talked about FOMO in a long time. This fear of missing out. Look at man. The last time he did this, they went and rocketed to the moon, and I could have picked up 30 pips on the deal. And reality is, what you forget about is maybe the 20 times it failed, and that's the reason why you have the rule there.
Right.
That's just my perspective on rules. We set them up for a reason to protect ourselves. It's sort of like, in any civilized society, why do we have laws? We have the laws not because we're trying to restrict people from doing things, but rather we have the laws to go and protect ourselves from things that'll get us into trouble.
Right.
Well, that's my idea of trading. I don't look at trading as a get rich scheme as much as I look at trading as a way to go and make a living and build up wealth. No question about that, but build it up in a consistent way. And part of building it up in a consistent way is making sure we have rules in place that prevent us from going and doing things we shouldn't do. At least most of the time.
Yeah.
Because the reality is you can't protect yourself from everything. It's like I said to you earlier, I was telling you a story which we don't have enough time for, but you know what? Every day, you don't know what's going to happen. When you get up, take your first breath during the day, you have no idea how that day is going to turn out. So what do? We put rules in place to try to protect ourselves, but still things can go haywire on you.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
But it's sort of like I had something. I'm testing a new EA that Tro just gave me to go and play with a little bit, and I ran into a problem with it. And it's like, I'm glad I have a rule that when I trade, I have my phone next to me so that I can get out of trades if my computer hangs up. And it turned out that my computer hung up. And it's a good thing I had that because it actually gave me a bunch of pips by getting out when I needed to get out. But if I didn't have that rule in place to have that, I could have been really, really upset because of missing those pips, or worse than that, what if it had gone against me, also turned and went against me, and I couldn't get out.
Right.
So that's my understanding of rules. Quick and simple.
Yeah. Well, you know what? The fastest 15 minutes in trading is just about over. So, fellow traders, take a look at your trading plan, see what rules you have, and maybe highlight at least one that you'll promise you won't break. And then after you make that a habit, you highlight the next one. And then sooner or later, you won't be breaking any of your rules. And always remember and never forget, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.